Have you ever had just a brilliant idea in your head, but it just fizzles out because you can't find the right words to explain it? Building a powerful vocabulary isn't about acing trivia night. It's really about upgrading your ability to think, to communicate, and to persuade. So let's dive into how it's actually done. I love this metaphor. Think about it. You could build a shed with just a hammer, sure, but you're going to do a much, much better job with a saw, a level, and a power drill, right? Words are the tools we use to build ideas. The more tools you have in that toolbox and the better you know how to use each one, the more complex and compelling your ideas are going to become.
So here's the thing. We all operate with two different sets of words. First, you've got your active vocabulary. These are the words you use all the time, every day, without even thinking about it. But then there's your passive vocabulary, and this is the big one. It's all the words you recognize when you read or hear them, but you just don't use them yourself. Our whole goal here is to start moving those great words from the passive list over to the active one, putting them right into your toolbox.
Okay, so how do we even start to navigate this huge world of words? Where do you begin? Well, what we need is a map. And the three tiers framework, it's a brilliant way to categorize words so we can focus our energy exactly where it matters most. Let's break this down. Tier 1 words are your basics. Think happy, walk, house. We all learned these as kids. Then you've got Tier 3 words on the complete opposite end. This is highly specialized jargon, stuff like amortization or photosynthesis. They're absolutely crucial in specific fields, but you're not going to use them in everyday conversation. But the magic, the real sweet spot for leveling up your communication, that's right there in the middle. And that brings us to Tier 2. These are your power words. We're talking about words like facilitate, analyze, or substantial. You see, these are sophisticated, high-utility words that are understood across a ton of different contexts. These are the words that take a resume from good to hired. They're the ones that turn a simple request into a really persuasive argument. Honestly, mastering these is the fastest way to make your communication more precise, more professional, and way more impactful. Okay, so we know which words to target now, those Tier 2 power words. But how do we actually learn them so they stick? Let's walk through a super simple, practical process for moving words from just passively understanding them to actively using them. Now, before we jump into the actual steps, we have to get a handle on two critical ideas that'll make sure we use these new words correctly. The first one is connotation. You can think of it as the vibe or the emotional weight a word carries with it. Ignoring this is how you accidentally insult someone when you're trying to give a compliment. Understanding this hidden meaning is what really separates a pro from a novice. For example, look at the words slim and scrawny. They both literally mean thin, but if you call someone slim, that's usually a compliment, right? But scrawny implies they're maybe unhealthily thin. It's got a negative feel. Same dictionary definition, but a completely different emotional impact. Getting this is so key. The second concept is something called collocations. The easiest way to think of these as word partnerships. They're just words that are best friends. They almost always show up together. Learning these pairs is the secret to sounding natural and fluent instead of sounding like you're translating sentences in your head. For instance, native speakers don't do a mistake, they make a mistake. They don't say a story, they tell a story. Using the right verb that goes with the right noun, it just makes your language flow. It makes you sound like a confident, natural communicator. All right, let's put it all together. Here's the recipe. Step 1 is to notice. Just start noticing new words when you're reading or listening. Step 2, define it. Look it up or even just try to guess from the context. Step 3, connect it. Link that new word to a word you already know. For example, connect benevolent with kind. And finally, the most important one, step 4, activate it. You have to actually use it in a sentence right away. Either say it out loud or write it down. That's the step that actually moves it into your active toolbox. So we have the map and we have the method. But let's talk about the payoff. Why go through all this trouble? Because the result is the power of precision. And I promise you, it will change how people see you and your ideas. Think about a sentence like this. The report was very bad. It's not wrong, but it's so weak and vague. What does very bad even mean? Was it poorly written? Was it inaccurate? Did it just have bad news? We have no idea. But now change just one word. The report was detrimental. Whoa. That single Tier 2 word completely transforms the message. It's shorter, it's more professional, and it's incredibly precise. It tells us the report wasn't just bad, it was actively harmful. That is the power of picking the right word. And this all leads to some really clear rewards.
First, you get precision and clarity in everything you say and write. Second, you can control your nuance and tone, shifting easily from casual to formal. And a huge bonus is that your reading comprehension just skyrockets because you spend less time trying to figure out what words mean and more time understanding the big picture.
This whole process is really just about making a conscious choice to become a more effective communicator. And it all starts with one word at a time. So I'll leave you with this question to get you started. What's one word you've heard or read recently that you're going to consciously choose to move from your passive list into your active toolbox starting today?